Here we are, FreeCADing again. This is a rough sketch of the steam bike frame. That's the front fork, that's the front spring. The head angle is 30 degrees. And then we'll go through the rest of the frame. This is the top tube and the frame, bottom tube, down tube, etc. This is going to be a water tube boiler, which is my current thinking, and that's going to be a Dake engine and a gas tank above it. That's the rear spring gas tank again. I was flitting about really thinking that I was recording this. That's the top tube, and I'm thinking of making this about, I don't know, 200 millimeters diameter and feeding the safety valve, exhaust and boiler flue through it. I did think now that perhaps I'll make it a hardtail and put a seat on it, a sprung seat, and then I started thinking about springs. Oh dear, then I got distracted again making springs. What a job. Here we go, spring making. We go into this thing, which is a funny thing. This generates a helix, which is fine. We'll go for the height first. 60 millimeters, and we'll go for a radius of half that. Maybe just under. And then pitch, we want it to go into 60, so we'll have 5 turns, so that's 12. And then I want it tapered because seat springs used to be tapered. I don't know whether 20 degrees will look right or not. Right-handed, left-handed makes no difference. And there it is, created. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. It's only half of one, but never mind, we'll get there. And go back in now into part design and create a sketch. That's the wrong plane, we want XZ. I think we do. I'm looking, yeah. Now that's right. And we have to pop a circle on there, and we'll locate it on the x-axis, concentric with it. Doesn't matter what size it is at the minute. And then we have to remember what diameter we took. This is always the fiddly bit. I'll have to, you have to click there, and click there, somewhere there. Oh, blooming thing. There we are. And then we take a horizontal distance, which should be equal to the radius, 25 millimeters. And that looks as if it's dropped it in the right place. We'll now set the diameter to 2.5 millimeters, giving me a 5 mil diameter spring. I think that's in the middle. Go back to the part workbench. Yeah, that looks near enough the middle. And we go to this sweep utility. We want to sweep this sketch profile, which is a little circle, around this helix. Yeah, that's alright. Looks all dippity-doo. And we say sweep path and select all the segments of the helix by holding Control and left clicking. We've done that. That looks good. We've that yet. We want to create a solid and a Freinet. The reason we create a Freinet is because the ends will end up on the same plane then. If not, they can end up all funny. I don't know why. Half this is way beyond me. Now we've got half one of the seat springs. Seat springs seem to be small at the bottom and small at the top and thick in the middle. So what I decided to do was mirror it, and we don't need to bother with anything here. It'll do. And it's mirrored, but unfortunately I picked the helix and not the sweep. So after a bit of pondering, I didn't want to do that. No, we'll get rid of all that. I'll just delete it. And then we'll pick the sweep. No, we don't want that. That's what we want, the sweep. And then we'll mirror it. Again, everything's pretty well okay there. Now we've got a mirror. There it is, jolly good. I'll transform this, it's not super critical on dimensions. There it goes. Now the problem is, it's a mirror image, so it's the opposite hand. I couldn't work out what to do for ages. Then I suddenly thought if I mirror it again, then it'll be correct-handed. Brilliant. Don't know whether it's the proper way of doing things or even the quickest, but it's the way it works. Can't always see things because there we go. There it comes. Now if I rotate that through 180 degrees on the x-axis, that'll be the red dot. And give it a twiddle around. There we go. And we should be something like, you can, I think we'll delete this one before we go any further. It always says this. Doesn't seem to make any difference to anything. Right, and then we'll transform that. Now that should be close enough, but I suspect it isn't because we're going to do a Boolean operation. So I'll adjust this increment down to 1 and just nudge it round a bit on the z-axis, which will be the blue circle when I've found it. Oh, there it is. No, we don't want the x-axis, that's that baby. And these are a bit arduous sometimes, just have to twiddle things a bit and it'll work. It's gone the wrong way. That's perfect. We'll look to have an overlap there. It's only a little bit. Yeah. And click OK. And now we should be able to fuse them together using Mr. Boole's famous algorithm. Yeah. I want both of them selected. And then we go to fuse together. And then we have a fusion, as you can see on the left in the tree. And there they are, all stuck together. Wonderful. And now that's something like a spring. It's still not right in that springs should have a parallel face top and bottom to seat on. Took a little while to work this one out, but it's quite easy really. We just get a cube and it'll appear in the origin down at the bottom there. There it is. Select it, and then we go down here and we want it to be certainly wider, a lot wider than we want, and a lot longer. Height doesn't really matter, we don't need much height for this job. Then we have to pop it across and down a bit. So we go into placement, and those where the three little dots are, if you click there, you get this sort of, I don't know, box for instructing it. Hey, it's a nightmare, this. Now it must be minus, I think. Yes, minus. We'll go 40 because we made it 80. Again, minus 40 because we made it 80. There we go. We've got it in the middle. Now we've just got to shuffle it down. And this is where I have to think about the job. It's 10 millimeters wide, so we'll try minus 8. Because we're going down the way. We wanted to go up, it'd be plus 8. That looks about right. There's just a little bit of spring poking out, which is what we want. Yeah, I think we're there with that bit. Apply it, say OK, and then we want the fusion first, because we want that to, and the cube to subtract from it. Then another Boolean operation, and you'll see we've got a nice flat bottom on the spring. We've still got the sketch and the helix there, but they're just construction stuff. They wouldn't render anyway, but I'll get rid of them before we've done, or at least hide them. Now I want another cube, so I want to do the same at the top. Again, it's just a repetition of before, because that worked fine. Well, nearly. The height is going to be the problem. The height of that doesn't matter, obviously, it's the positioning of it. So we'll click in this little box. Again, we'll centre it by minus 40. That's 140. That's better. And this time we'll be going up the way on the z-axis, so it'll be plus something. And as we were 120 tall while we were 60 times twice, I'm going for 118, I think. And that'll be a plus number. I'm still just trying to, yeah, 118, let's go for that. We can always shift it if it's wrong. Frightened me. I've got too many ones. There it goes. We'll just have a quick look. Yeah, and it's poking out a bit. Same as the bottom. That's grand. It does my head in, this 3D, thinking in 3 dimensions all the time and adding up and taking away as well. We go through the same routine. We select the helix, which is now called a cut, and then the cube 2. And then now we get rid of the helix, and then we get rid of the sketch. Now it's gone. We've not got rid of them, we've just hidden them. You can fetch them back if you wanted to adjust anything. We'll shade it, get rid of all the little lines, and as usual, colour in. And that's the job done. As I say, we could really do with having a variable rate helix, because I want the top and bottom turns should be pushed together. But short of, I don't know, I think just wait till I got this far and hit it with a hammer.